Thanks for your time this morning. Well, first of all, good morning. It was bright and early. Going to take the next 30 minutes or so to talk about the intersection of sports and internet TV. And hopefully, if I do my job right, I'll be able to provide some insight to what the future of TV might look like, and also give you a sneak peek to some of the things we're working on at ESPN. I've been at ESPN for 5 years now, and I am still amazed by all the innovation as well as the fast-paced changing world that we're in from a digital standpoint. And today's landscape looks completely different than it was 5 years ago. And there's one word that I think sums that up. That word is more. And what do I mean by more? Think about content. There's more content available today than ever before. You can watch practically any movie, any TV show, any video on any topic instantly from anywhere and almost on any device. There are more devices today that are capable of playing video at a high quality. Whether it's phones, tablets, game consoles, over-the-top boxes, connected TVs, there's more out there. I looked in my bag this morning before I got here. I'm carrying around 6 devices right now. I look like I robbed a Best Buy store before I got here. It's just amazing the pace at which these devices come out and how we have to continue to stay on top of that to make sure we're creating great experiences on all devices. There's also more investment in technical infrastructure, and the CDN Summit yesterday I think was a good example of that. One example, a recent example, is Google Fiber that claims that it can deliver internet speeds 100 times faster than what most Americans get today. So there's plenty of investment in the technical infrastructure. And then, last but not least, our good friend Dick Vitale being carried around inside by Duke fans, is that there's more demand from consumers. In our case, our consumers are fans. They expect more today. And what's happened with more is it's created this new category of television, which we're now calling internet TV. And at ESPN, we made 2 big bets on internet TV. And I'm sure there are a lot of companies out there, media companies saying, scratching their heads saying, how am I going to compete? How am I going to keep up? What do I have to do to adapt? At ESPN, we look at the change in consumer behavior and technology as huge opportunities to serve sports fans better, anytime, anywhere. So before I jump into ESPN3 and Watch ESPN, I'm going to talk about what I think is the underlying way to win in this new world of internet TV. And that's content. It is all about the content in this new world. With more devices out there, these devices are hungry for content. And not all content is created equal. I'm going to show you a quick video on what I mean.
You changed the way the world thinks about you.
Big plays tonight.
Everything you put into this thing, everything you sunk into this is 3 hours away. Let's go win it.
Let's go. Let's get this game away.
This is a day they are never, ever going to forget. Now it's time to deliver. Somers, Cole, James! Whoa!
Dominate on 3. 1, 2, 3. Dominate.
In sports,
That was sick.
utter nastiness.
Hello, Sports Center Top 10.
Every night there's a winner.
Jones! Yes!
They will fight for a win.
Lightning in a bottle in Tuscaloosa.
They fight hard.
The Thunder with a chance to take the lead. Durant, the lead!
And gone. A walk-off grand slam.
And every season a champion.
Van Persie! Oh! Manchester United are champions of England.
Connecticut brings the title back in 2013.
These are the men,
The women.
The teams who fight,
push, dive
and do whatever it takes.
to be the best.
because every day is game day.
These guys get it, man. They play hard, they play physical, they want to hit you in the mouth.
When did you know you could be big time?
Champions work harder than everyone else.
The effort you put in
The way you fight, that's what makes you great.
Expectations are meant to be surpassed.
There it is. Megatron into the record books.
He's still lighting it up.
Matt Cain, a perfect game. Jim Boeheim, winner of 900 basketball games.
They raised their game to new heights.
That's a signature moment, a 3 home run game in the World Series.
That is what it's about. History being made.
In my lifetime, the best dynasty in college football. You know you're watching something special you will never see again.
The Miami Heat win streak, 27 games, second longest in NBA history.
Champions.
Put teamwork first.
They make me fast enough, they make me strong enough to do anything we want to do.
When many people doubted us, we came together as a group.
Champions
Start strong.
and finish stronger.
We have a new saying in Boston. Boston strong, baby.
At ESPN.
At ESPN,
At ESPN, every day,
You have just witnessed history.
Every day.
Oh my! Could you believe it?
Every day.
This is what's good about sports.
at ESPN,
Every day.
Is game day.
An unbelievable finish! Who is writing this stuff?
Great. So how many sports fans do we have in the house, right? How many sports fans? Okay. We've got a good number of sports fans. All right. So one thing I like to do is, so raise your hand if you're a sports fan here. All right? All right. Keep your hand up. Keep your hand up. Okay. Drop your hand if you've watched a live game DVR, or a game DVR. Who DVR sports here? We got live sports. All right. Here's what's going on in sports, right? Sports is one of the few remaining genres of television that is DVR proof. People have to watch sports live. That's the immediacy, the instant gratification. And when we talk about content being at the center of this universe of internet TV, there's a saying out there, content is king. And you're gonna be surprised when I say this, I don't believe that. Content is not king, right? Well, it is king, and the reason why I say this is because anyone can have content. The barriers to entry to produce content are lower than they were 5 years ago, 2 years ago, 10 years ago. The difference today is that live content is king, exclusive content is king, and relevant content is king. That's what we focus on at ESPN, is to make sure that we are taking our breadth and depth of our rights portfolio and producing it at the highest quality possible and delivering the sports fans whenever and wherever they are. And ESPN3 is a great example of this. We started ESPN3 about 10 years ago, and it was called ESPN Broadband at the time. It was a collection of clips and highlights, and the reason why ESPN Broadband was created was to help our affiliates drive their high-speed data businesses. At the time, everything was based on speed, it was based on price, and something about content really resonated with our affiliates. They wanted to find a way to differentiate, and having content that was exclusive or not available on TV was a way to differentiate their services. ESPN3 has done a number of pivots throughout this 10 years. It became ESPN360, ESPN360.com, ESPN3.com, and now ESPN3. And one of the important things we made a decision about was it used to be called ESPN3.com. And we made a decision to take the .com off of ESPN3 because this is a real TV network. The only difference is it's delivered over the internet versus through traditional satellite delivery. So today, ESPN3 is available in 85 million US households. It's distributed just like a cable TV network. Our affiliates are internet service providers and TV providers who offer this to their customers. We call ESPN3 the network of the future because of its ability to scale up. We can do 4,300 live events a year on ESPN3. And that's only the start. We want to take that to 20,000 at some point. And the 4,300 is double, almost double what we put on ESPN1, ESPN2, and ESPNU. We have the ability to do 30 live events at one time on ESPN3. And we're also available for free on college campuses across the country. So taking a look at the programming, and we're talking about content, just to give you some perspective, some context. So on ESPN3, we're focused on live exclusive content. last year we did 300 live college football games incrementally. These are events not on our other linear networks, just on ESPN3 alone, 300 live college football games. College basketball, over 1,000 college basketball games live on ESPN3. The NFL draft. Thursday night, we show you the NFL draft, but leading up to it, what we're showing you are events that are NFL draft pro days. So all the prospects who are preparing for the draft, we go out to their schools and produce those workouts and show them to fans who are interested. So it allows us to go deeper into what we're doing. And from a kind of broad perspective of ESPN3, we focus on two things. How do we super serve our core TV viewer? And at the same time, we're providing a consistent TV outlet for sports that don't get enough exposure on our linear TV networks. It also solves the problem of this. There are only 24 hours in a day with a linear TV network. And we have a lot of great content that just can't make it on the linear networks because there's not enough space. ESPN3 solves that problem, and Wimbledon is a great example. We put 140 hours of Wimbledon on ESPN and ESPN2. But ESPN3, we're able to do 800 hours on all the out-of-court coverage. And then with softball, again, these are sports that may not have the big fan base as college football, but what it does have are very passionate fans. Show of hands, anyone who have watched ESPN downloaded out there? A couple, okay, all right. The work we put in the ESPN3 from an infrastructure standpoint, the institutional knowledge, allowed us a head start to get TV Everywhere launched. We launched Watch ESPN on the web back in 2010, and the app followed up in 2011. For those of you who do not know what Watch ESPN is, I'm going to toss to my friends Vic and Steve to explain what Watch ESPN is.
Hey, is that Watch ESPN?
Yep.
Is it a website and app that lets me watch live ESPN?
Yep.
On my smartphone, tablet, or laptop?
Yeah.
That's clutch. Can I use it to watch the Canes play Duke live while enjoying an overpriced cup of coffee?
Mm-hmm.
Can I use it to watch Big East action after my 7th flight delay?
No doubt.
Can I use it to watch the Wildcats at work while acting like I'm being productive?
Yes.
So you're telling me Watch ESPN is the clutch way to watch ESPN?
Yep.
Watch college hoops live anytime, anywhere. Download the app or visit watchespn.com.
So clutch.
All right, so thanks, Vic and Steve. So Watch ESPN. It's our live TV Everywhere app. It's been downloaded 20 million times by sports fans. It's a 4.5 star app in the iTunes store. And what it allows you to do is watch ESPN anytime, anywhere. And there are lots of use cases around this. You can be in line at Starbucks. You want to catch SportsCenter. Now you're able to do so by using the Watch ESPN app. Or you could be at home, and this is a personal story. I have 4 kids. You're at home, and you lose a battle for the remote control. And it happens a lot to me. And you have your tablet out. You're able to watch with your family, not leaving them. You stay there and watch. You could be at a soccer game. I got 4 of them, so I'm at a lot of soccer games. And I'm able to watch, don't tell my kids this, but I'm able to watch my game on my phone while they're playing soccer. So lots of use cases for TV Everywhere. The other one is, and what we've been really surprised by, is that it's acting as a television inside the home. And you'd be surprised how people are using this. So I'm going to go to this next slide here. And for those of you who can't see in the back, this is your right. 10% of the consumption of Watch ESPN takes place in the bathroom, okay? In the bathroom, all right? But what this really speaks to is that people are using it as a television in rooms where they don't have one, which is very, very interesting. Bedroom, 25%, living room, even 33%. That kind of speaks to the lose a battle for the remote control. But what's been really interesting as time has gone on is that people expect internet TV to work just like TV. They don't want to hear about buffering, the quality of the video, how long it takes to start, authentication. They want to turn on and they want it to work. So we've been working closely with a number of companies out there, including Conviva, to help us optimize our video. So we eliminate buffering. We get the HD quality video. And we've seen some dramatic differences in what we're doing, and we're definitely leading the way in terms of video quality. The other piece is authentication. How many of you have tried TV Everywhere apps? Any hands out there? All right. Tell me some of the biggest pain points you have. Anyone have pain points with TV Everywhere? Authentication, password. All right, 2 things. So right now with TV Everywhere, that is one of the biggest hurdles we have. But there are ways to solve this. Things that are out there today that are going to help us get there and to create this frictionless environment are going to be in-home auto authentication. You go to your computer, you go to your tablet, you get in and it works. That's on its day. That's going to be here before you know it. We also are looking at ways to do cross-domain authentication. If I go watch CNN, I shouldn't have to come to ESPN and log in again. There's things we're working on around cross-domain authentication. Also, cross-app authentication. And then the ability to have your login session last longer. And then the one thing I'm really excited about that it's going to happen at some point is being able to bind or sync your TV provider's credentials with your social media credentials. So you have to remember one thing. So those are all things that we work really hard on these things because, again, people expect this to work just like television. But what's really ironic here, right, is that while they expect it to work like television, they also expect it to be better than TV. And I could spend probably an hour talking about some of the things that are going on. Personalization is going to be one of the biggest advancements that we see with the future of television. And what we're going to see here is that the final disruption of the electronic programming guide. And I don't know how many of you guys look at your EPGs, but those things are going to change, and there's companies out there that are doing some great things around this right now. The other one is being able to add special sauce around your content, and that's what we call it at ESPN. When you come and watch a game, there should be more than just video. And if you guys are familiar with ESPN, we have the bottom line that allows you to actually you're watching the game, and a little scroll comes across telling you scores. Well, we think that should be more personalized, and we think the fan should be in control of that. So one thing we're rolling out in the near future, and this is kind of a sneak peek, is something called the live toolbar. So I'm going to attempt to do a live demo, which is very dangerous. So bear with me here. I'm going to show you what we're working on around special sauce. So I'm going to switch here. Yeah, never do live demos. All right. So we're going to switch here. So this is the Watch ESPN app. We're going to turn it. That's why you don't do live demos. All right. There we go. All right, so again, I have ESPN right here in my hand. I can watch it wherever I am. And it's all over the internet. So I'm going to watch SportsCenter right now. And SportsCenter is at a commercial break. This is the beta site, so this is our production environment actually, so bear with me here. That's a commercial break as well. All right. Three's a charm. There we go. All right, so here I am watching Unite on ESPNU. All right. This is the future, right? This is on my iPhone. This is on my iPad. We're going to be rolling this out in the next couple weeks. But imagine this being not only on your iPad, but on your television as well. How do you make your TV smarter? This is what fans expect. So I'm going to go in here, see what's going on from last night. Maybe you want to look at a hockey highlight. The Red Wings game. I'm going to pull it up. And I can watch TV side by side. I'm watching the highlight, and I also have my live TV side by side. These are the things we're working on to really make TV better in the future. But maybe I want, and this will actually go live too, the production environment. Maybe I want to see a score. Now, there's no live games right now, but if there were, there would be a score here. And who won, let's see, golf. Where did I go in here? I could pull up a score. And see who won. These are the things we're working on to make TV better in the future. So, as we look at the world here, there's three things, right? Three things. Content. But again, great content. Not just regular content, great content. The second thing is, how do you reduce friction to allow people to use these products just like they're watching television? And the third is, this has to be better than TV. How do you add your special sauce to what you're doing? As I said before, I mean, this world has changed quite a bit over the past 5 years. And again, I am just amazed by what is going on from an innovation standpoint. I went down and checked out the room with all the different devices. This is the year that I really think that these connected devices are going to take off because there's more content out there available for people. And these connected devices, Xbox is my favorite device right now. And why it's my favorite device is that I can pull up content that I can't pull up on my regular set-top box. It gives me a deeper library sometimes. So future-wise, we're dialed in. We're dialed in on all these devices. We're dialed in on content. And we're dialed in on trying to make this a better experience for fans to consume TV on all these devices. So I'm going to stop right there and take some questions. And I will finish up after I do some questions. So first question is right here. I'm coming to you, Mike.
Good morning. Mike Donovan from Scripps Networks Interactive.
Good.
My question is more around the area of the live broadcast, and you showed ESPN and ESPN2 SportsCenter being live broadcast. How do you manage to maintain any sort of Nielsen rating presence around that? Because the biggest fear that we have as content providers is every broadcast that gets pushed over to an iPad or an Android device cannot currently be rated the way the rest of our broadcasts are.
Yep. It's a very, very good question around measurement, right? So we have a very simple belief at ESPN that there is the word cannibalization is not in our vocabulary. We want to serve you wherever you are. Now, measurement is definitely something we focus in on. And today, we actually dynamically replace the commercial streams on our digital products and serve them dynamically with different with the different ad pods. So when you're watching TV, you'll get different commercials that you see on your tablet. So at some point, we're going to roll up all these numbers into Nielsen, and we're working with Nielsen on different ways to track and be able to roll up numbers there. That is definitely in the back of our mind, but today we're really focusing on how we monetize what we have today through dynamic ad insertion. But rolling up to Nielsen we have active projects right now with iPad to actually roll that back up to Nielsen. Good question.
Hi. First off, big fan of I have an Xbox in the living room, watch ESPN. I've replaced the set-top box as well and use it on iOS, Android as well. Just curious, when you said monetization, oftentimes I'll have set-top box playing in one room, and then obviously I got the Xbox streaming it, so it's a little delayed. But when you say monetization, that commercial, I see the commercial break more often than I see a commercial. On all the, on the Watch ESPN, obviously on the set-top box, you always have a commercial. So just curious on if you can talk about how, I realize it's early days, but how you're working that with the dynamic ad insertion, when you have to put one of those commercial break logos in and when you actually have an ad to put in.
Yeah. So that's a very good question. And we did some research last year. And at the time, what we're finding is because we're so far ahead with live TV, the ecosystem isn't developed around us. So we're having to make things up as we go along a lot of times and create things on our own. And technology is finally catching up. And what you're seeing is that with some of our programming, we aren't putting commercials in everything. We're focusing right now on our high value content to monetize that because it's a process. And it's really about manpower, resources. And we're really focusing on our high value content right now. But what you're saying is, we did research a year ago, and we didn't have commercials in some of our iPad. And fans were saying, I rarely see commercials in that slate, right? But it's going to get there. And right now, it's a technical operational limitation because we want to monetize everything that we have. Yep. Any other questions? I'm looking at our head of platform right there. Paul, did I get that right?
So you had the graphic there with people watching in their bathrooms in different places, and you spoke a little bit about people getting ads. I was just wondering if you talk more a little bit about the feedback loop and how you're getting information back from consumers to improve your applications. That's always a big thing.
Yeah, so in this world, people let you know what they think right away, and Twitter is one of our best friends for feedback. When you're trying to watch a live game, and if there's something that's not working right, you'll know right away. So we look at Twitter to get feedback instantly. We look at the App Store reviews and what's going on there. And we also have a really robust customer care operation where fans can actually call us and get a live body on the phone and tell us what's wrong. So that's what we use for feedback. And then we also have a team back in Bristol, our level 1 support, that they are looking at and monitoring our feeds and streams 24/7. So they're able to spot problems ahead of time using tools to basically fix things before they become problems. Does that answer your question? Okay. Any other questions? Yes, right here. Oh, right there.
What's your approach on packaging and format compatibility for different platforms?
That is a really good question, and I think the chart that Dan showed earlier is what we all are trying to figure out, right? Every device can have different format, right? So HLS, we use HLS on Xbox, HLS on iOS devices. We use Flash on the desktop, laptop right now. And we, on Android, we are using Flash today. We are building a native app that will be HLS. So those are all the formats. Xbox is HLS as well. Yep.
This is more of a technical question. In the past, multicasting was a concept for getting a lot of threads out. How are your servers and your technical people handling 20,000 people hitting a server at one time?
Yep. I got the guy to answer your question right there. His name is Paul Gavalis, who's the head of our platform. Paul, why don't you stand up and answer that one?
So the question was, how do we handle the traffic load? We partner with best-of-breed CDNs out there, and we're capable of serving anybody who wants to watch our content at any time. Traffic levels often exceed a couple 100,000 peak concurrent users at a time. So really the answer is CDNs.
So you guys got 2 for 1 today. You got one speaker, you got two here. This is great.
Your streaming partner at MLB has managed to get their app on pretty much every connected device out there. You guys are on tablets and smartphones and Xbox, but you're not on Apple TV, you're not on Roku, you're not on Western Digital. Are you working on that? When do you expect to get on the other streaming boxes that are in the marketplace?
So I can't comment on specific devices and what we're looking at. I can tell you our approach. We want Watch ESPN to be on every device with scale, and that's our criteria. We look at scale. Because we want to make sure resource-wise, these are not trivial builds. They take time, they take resources. So we're looking at every device out there. And I think as you look at the future, you will see us on more devices, but the focus is scale. And today, like you said, Xbox, Android, iPhone, there are other great platforms out there, as you brought up, and we're definitely looking at those. And I would say, over time, you'll see us get to more devices, more platforms.
This is not a technical question. As you look, you talked about the rolling up the Nielsen stuff, and you talk about personalization and learning a lot more about the individual customer. Do you foresee a day and when that I don't need a cable subscription to pay for ESPN and get it on my iPad? And you're developing this relationship with the customer that you want it to be personal. Why not take my money directly?
Another question. Here's the way I can answer that. We believe in the multi-channel TV subscription. We think that provides the most value to fans and to consumers. And that's, we've been in this for 30 years, 30 plus years, and we're big believers in the multi-bundle, or the multi-channel TV subscription.
What thought have you put into differentiating the experience for the fan in the arena?
Very good question. Something that we haven't done a lot with yet. We are there with some of our apps like ScoreCenter, where you can check scores, that you can pull up video. It's something that we are taking a harder look at. We think some of the NBA teams are doing great jobs there. The Brooklyn Nets, for example, is doing a phenomenal job. Things that you see with the new stadiums coming out, like out in San Francisco with the 49ers. So there's just some really interesting opportunities there. Today, we're in stadiums with our website, and we're in on mobile devices and ScoreCenter and Watch ESPN. There's also bandwidth concerns at stadiums as well that we have to kind of figure out. But it's something that we're definitely looking at, how we can be more part of the in-stadium experience.
You mentioned earlier that there's certain sports that have attracted very passionate fans. You mentioned softball particularly. Is there any risk with some of these that it could turn into sort of a niche market where the app suddenly becomes the place to go for the sort of more obscure things, but you don't necessarily catch the sort of mainstream fan?
Yeah, so I think that's the beauty of internet TV, is that you're able to go deeper into places where you probably wouldn't go with television because of the shelf space. And I'll give you a great example, cricket, okay? Cricket is one of the most popular sports in the world. And it's not quite there yet here in the US in terms of popularity. But for ESPN3, it allows our company to go out and do a deal with the International Cricket Council to stream the 2015 World Cup. And coming up in a couple weeks, we have the Champions Trophy, which we're going to have some of the top playing cricket countries in the world playing on ESPN3. So we think that being able to serve all sports fans is a way to do that with these apps and with internet TV, because you can go deeper in the sports. And it's really not about personalization is going to be so important here, because when you come to these apps, we should already know who you are and what you want. So when you get there, cricket's sitting up right there, and I'm pulling all the cricket highlights for you. So it's going to become a much more personalized experience. So the fan who may not be interested in cricket won't even see it. Great.
Well, while I'm looking for another question, you said 10% of people viewing in the bathroom, which is not surprising, I don't think. But was there anything else in that data that was really unique or weird or kind of surprised you guys about where and when people are viewing content?
Yeah, it's the second, TV being, or the app actually being acting as a television. I think is the biggest takeaway from that research, is that you go into these things thinking that, well, people are going to, they're going to be doing all these different things on these tablets, and they're using it as a television. It's that simple. And what we also saw is that the consumption, how long people actually watch on an iPhone or phone or a tablet. For a college football Saturday, just to give you some context, we'll see people watching on a computer one game for well over an hour. On a tablet, they're watching one game for over 45 minutes. And on a phone, it's over 20 minutes. So you're seeing some incredible engagement. And then with commercials, over 90% of our commercials actually make it through completion. So it just talks to the power of live TV and live sports.
So obviously what we've been talking about is professionally produced content, and I'm just kind of wondering what your plans are for UGC, anything from highlight reels to people doing crazy stuff with their GoPros, discovering the next big star or whatever else.
Yeah, so today we're focused in on professionally produced content. And when I talk about ESPN3, those 1,000 college basketball games, our philosophy is if it's not good enough for ESPN1 or ESPN2 from a production standpoint, it's not good enough for ESPN3. So we're really focused on creating professionally produced content. However, there is a place for UGC, trusted third parties providing content to you. We haven't got there yet, but I definitely think there is an opportunity. And GoPro, you'll see we do that right now on ESPN.com. One of the sections we have is a must-see moments. and we get a lot of GoPro cams in there, a lot of wacky sports moments. So there is a place for that within ESPN. With Watch ESPN today, it's really focusing on the live streaming and professionally produced content. A couple more. Got time for probably 2 more questions.
Okay. So do you personally, it's a personal question, do you think personally that the pro sports leagues need to rethink their blackout rules now that their live content's available pretty much anywhere? How can you as a network convince them that they can still make revenue and fill their stadiums without a blackout rule?
So that's another tough question. So how will I answer that one? So as a fan, it can be very frustrating, these blackout rules. And they're really hard to explain to fans. Fans don't understand. Well, I live in this market and I can't watch this game. Why can't I watch this game? Well, it's on your local TV station. Oh, the stadium's not full. It's definitely, as you talk about TV being frictionless, this is another hurdle that we have. And it's really the leagues that are going to have to figure this one out. But as a fan, I agree with you. It is frustrating to have blackouts. I should be able to watch anything I want to. But it's really in the hands of the leagues.
Okay, last question.
I'm a football fan. Watch ESPN regularly.
Okay.
One of the things that I'd like to see, I'd like to get your vision on how you're going to tie more seamlessly your football schedule with fantasy football, so that you can create groups on television, so to speak, and watch real-time highlights when people score.
Yep. So let me just switch to this. What I showed you earlier here with this, as you talk about the future TV, when you're watching Monday Night Football on ESPN, you should have your fantasy team sitting here on this row down here. You're going to see us integrate more what we do, because there is a way for TV to be more interactive. And fantasy is one of the most social and most interactive things that we have. So fantasy football, you'll see us in the not so distant future figure out ways to incorporate that while you're watching television, because that's what fans want. They want to be able to interact while they're watching television. So I think that's it. I want to thank you for your time. I'm going to toss it back to Dan, and it's on you.